double check. Make sure there's 11. Because there's at most 11 turns, so 11 events.
Are these shuffled and placed face down? Or?
No. So there should be 3 cards that say villain on them. So pull those out. Okay. So shuffle these and make 3 stacks with them.
Face down?
Yeah. And then shuffle those.
And make 3 stacks.
And then deal out cards on each stack. Okay, so the stack that has the least in it, we can either place at the bottom, the middle, or the top, depending on whether we want the villain coming out sooner at the beginning, or so let's just put him in the middle. So, so shuffle each of these individually, right? And then put one of these on the bottom, that in the middle, and then the other one on the top. For those of you watching, get used to my throat clearing.
Now, is this going to be on YouTube? That's the question.
Yes. Depending on how many pieces are mentioned and or revealed.
Yes, the beauty of video.
Mm-hmm. So now they won't have to imagine our penises. They'll actually get to see them. So event deck goes here. And I hear Al chatting with Pam, but in the meantime, the plot cards that we need to pull out are these ones here.
Okay.
That looked like your card, but you're here.
I know. I said that's twice in 1 year.
I am 5 minutes late. So you could have
Although
been...
normally that's not an issue.
Come
20 minutes late, maybe.
Hello, cat friend. Oh, all right.
Come sit over here because you're going to be doing some of the manipulation.
That's awesome.
Yes. So Lucas has been setting up.
That's right. It's my show.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
Oh, are you going to try and run it?
We've been told that we're running it.
Yes.
Totally beyond choice
So
at this point.
No,
these,
it's probably
these are
good.
all the plot cards, and they're alphabetical. So now you just need to pull out the right
This is
number.
my water.
It is.
This is awesome.
I know.
We should come here more often for gaming.
Yes, you should.
And
For those
we're on
watching,
TV.
normally he's
Is
not
this
this
you-
efficient with the water, okay? We
Yes.
have to bag him.
That's true.
Bag him. Please.
I don't know if you can hear me crunching. There's ice in the water.
There, see, this is Al right there. So what is this for? No one's watching this, are they? Is Daryl at the other end?
No, Daryl's not at the other end. Although this is just to see if
This is for your own record keeping.
yes, and to share with Sen or other people who might be interested.
Cool.
Depending on how large.
If nothing
this
else,
file
an
gets.
experiment to see if this is disaster or not.
Exactly. Precisely.
As a quick comment, maybe these should also be in alphabetical.
That's very fair. Yes.
Oh, because you're trying
Extra
to figure
efficient.
out, make that by this.
Yeah, and these are in alphabetical order.
Took me an hour and a half to do it. Well, it felt like an hour and a half. It was probably actually 2 or 3 hours.
Probably.
Oh yeah, because you had to do it at Cardstock.
Yeah.
At first I thought you were kidding.
Then I got so stressed out and it was pulling out my hair. It could have just been having a bad day. Oh, I like your dice.
Yeah, they're
That's a neat idea.
these are from Boggle Jr. They're super light,
Yeah.
but they're like recessed a bit. So.
Mostly, I mean, I like that you have dice.
Oh, you like that I have dice? I see. Yeah, these are the villain and minion cards have some random symbols on them.
Well, that's all right. And in some ways, I just assumed that's going to make something easier. And maybe based on nothing.
It's gonna
Maybe you
make
get it out, then you roll, and it turns out, oh, it's extra bit extras. Oh, it's extra minions.
Pedestrians. Yeah.
What do you call them?
Bystanders.
Oh yeah.
They don't need to be crossing the street or anything.
Well, they're just getting by the
They're
car on the way
only
by.
They're not necessarily pedestrians.
Clumsy
They might just be at
pedestrians.
home. Or
Yeah.
I think you're only technically pedestrian if you step outside your house. If the villain comes to
They're-
you, then you're not
You
yet
could just be a
pedestrian.
bystander.
Exactly.
I disagree. I think they clearly look like clumsy pedestrians who are falling down.
It's true.
I assume that you just
They-
washed the floor. That's the evil villain had come and he's cleaning up. Oh, it's wet, and he didn't put the sign out.
It's a good idea for a supervillain. Take note. The janitor.
It can be pretty.
Yeah, so that's all the dice are used for right now is villains and minions to just show that they're a bit more versatile and tough and
Yeah.
to add a bit of unpredictability there. So is that's all of them?
I believe so.
Okay, so if you look at the bottom of the master plot, there's the initial plots. Which ones are out at the start of the game?
Initial plots.
Is that based on the number of players?
It is based on the number of players. Yeah.
So,
for
2,
3,
3, and 4.
so triangulation, one of them is out.
Looting.
Oh, which ones are out?
Yeah.
That is-
No. Well, so yeah, which ones will
Oh, I see
start?
what you mean.
Will actually
In
start
play.
the game in play. Yeah.
So there's triangulation, looting.
Odd experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Okay. Oh, I see. I thought it was 2 triangulation, but only in a 4 or 5 player game you have the extra triangulation.
Yeah, correct.
Gotcha.
With 4 or 5 players, there's 4 plots,
Mhm.
but with 5 players, the plots that are out are more difficult than with just 4. Okay, so the rest of those you just shuffle and stack on the plots. So what is changed with the plots? This is very important. So the makeup of the plots is done the same way. So triangulation, 3 players. This will go at this location here, City Reservoir. We need to put 6 henchman cards. You want to take those out now? 6 henchman cards, 2 bystanders, no structural damage. And then based on the location itself, you add bystanders equal to the number of white dots there, or white people, white pedestrians. In this case, they would be pedestrians because
Yeah.
then again they might be in cars or buses or
Uh,
commuters. Let's call them. The number in the circle here and the circle itself, these are timer tokens. The plot starts with a number of timer tokens. 1 is removed at the beginning of each threat phase, and whenever the card is resolved, the exclamation mark is still instantaneous, like immediate effects. So that happens as soon as the card is activated. The X's occur if, or take place if the card is active but hasn't been resolved after the players have, hasn't been neutralized after the players have played their cards. And then this token here, or this symbol here, shows no tokens. So if there are no more tokens on there, then this final effect will take place, and then the plot will get taken off.
but both of those are after.
Yeah,
the players
both of
get
those are
cracked
after. So these only get triggered if the players have not neutralized it. So they get a chance to act. You get a chance to act between the exclamation mark and everything else. Okay. So this one starts with 2. Another change is the plot is always active. There's no more placeholder card in there.
Okay.
So every turn, every threat phase, if there's no heroes here, then this will get triggered. Okay. These numbers here, the timer tokens, and even some of the effects may need to be modified. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
We may lose very badly very quickly.
Yeah.
It's possible. But then again, there's something new on the character cards too, which I'll tell you in a
Helps with
second.
stuff like that. Okay.
That
we
may
can
help.
Kick more ass.
So that's been shuffled.
Yes.
Place
Oh,
that
right,
face
that's
down
fine.
here.
Or I think it's-
Well, it doesn't matter. We shuffle it every time we go
Yeah.
to it
Oh.
anyway. Right. And then, so the plot is placed on top. Timer tokens are placed in the corner here. So same with these two. So Al, if you want to take out the timer tokens.
Question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe I just didn't notice this last time, but is deciding the location based on number of players new, or was that there for a while now?
It's been there for a few iterations. Yeah.
Okay. I remember when it used to be like check if this is available. If not,
Yeah.
cool.
That made sense when I had reversible boards and different configurations of boards. With a fixed configuration of board, this makes more sense to keep things a little more concentrated with 2 or 3 players, spread things out a bit more with 4 or 5 players.
Are you getting stuff for looting or for the other one?
For both.
Okay. Oh, you're making 3 separate piles.
So this one's going City Harbor needs an extra bystander, and that one Financial District, which is over here, which has 3 extra bystanders.
3 extra.
Yeah.
So looting needs 7 bystanders / skateboarders or whatever they are. Did you get that picture off the internet, or did you draw it?
Which one?
Of the bystander, the falling down.
That silhouette there, that's from the internet. The icon version, that's me.
Oh,
based on the silhouette.
Yes, yeah. Look at the straighter edges.
Shuffled in.
I guess it could
Which
be
one
there.
is that? That's looting?
That's looting. Yeah.
Okay, so looting is like Financial District and Odd Experiments over here.
Looting is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this token here keeps track of the master plot successes. So starts off with nothing and then we'll go up. We lose the game if it reaches 10. Oh, so now that the setup's done, we flip this over and here we've got the milestones. So things that'll happen as the plot progresses. So at the beginning of each turn, there's the countdown phase now. So Al, you're going to be in charge of moving the clock forward 1 tick, which is 5 minutes, and drawing a new event card.
Okay.
If any plots, villains, minions are deployed, Lucas, you're going to be the one putting them on the board. So that's here, and then the other one is going to go here.
For some reason I flipped this over.
Okay, so yeah, so now it goes countdown phase, which is the clock, events, plots put on board, and then players draw up to 5. Then there's the hero phase, where you can push, upgrade, move, use powers in any order. Then there's the threat phase. So first thing that happens is 1 timer token is removed from all the threats. And then we resolve the threats in whatever order we want. Usually starting with threats where there are no heroes, and then moving on to the ones that have heroes.
Is there a reason why these get removed before we get a crack at them? Because
yeah, it's just that's the timer, like, mechanism.
Because I'm just thinking, if they don't actually get the effect doesn't get resolved until after we had a chance to go at it anyway, then if we defeat the plot there, then you don't even need to worry about. Not that it saves a lot of time, but
that's true. But by doing all of them at once, instead of whenever you go and resolve it, you avoid problems like, okay, well, we did that one. Did you remove the token, or did this way you remove 1 token from each threat, and then that part is done.
It's more an administrative decision than
yeah.
than
I think
an
it's just to
actual logic
simplify.
decision.
well, I was thinking it could have been done at the same time, but afterwards. But then the effects coming.
Well,
into play
then
after
I
that
mean,
might feel
so
a
you
little
can
weird.
do it before or after. That's all. Just like you can draw up to 5 at the end of the turn or at the beginning of the turn. It's like
Right.
there's no. It's just to make things.
Well, the effect coming in afterward, after you've already gone there, like say I go here, and the effect would have come into play. We go here, we go there, and then we resolve this effect. Might feel funny anyway, so it's probably fine
Yeah.
that it's done before.
Yeah, I think so.
I understand.
After that, after those threats have been resolved, we award valor points. Rest. So those heroes who didn't go to any threat get to take either two cards either from their hand or their discard, injury cards I mean, and return them to the supply. You can, in addition to that, if your hero was or wasn't at a threat, you can spend 1 valor point to get rid of 1 injury card, again, from your hand or discard.
Okay.
So a straight 1-for-1 trade, valor points, 4 injuries.
For the resting, when you say didn't go to a threat,
Yeah.
I'm guessing you mean just wasn't at a threat, regardless
Exactly.
of movement.
Right.
Right.
Was not present at a
Right, okay.
threat.
Je vais dire quelque chose.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Je sais même pas comment faire les robots. Tu sais le jeu avec les robots.
Ok, c'est... Demande à Eden, s'il vous plaît.
Il n'y a même pas de règlement.
Ok. Je peux pas t'aider avec ça. Ok, désolé. Actually, that's not true. Most heroes, well, all heroes have powers or abilities on their cards now. Most of them have ways to gain additional valor points. So if they've got the little crystal symbol here, for example, gain 1 additional valor point when you neutralize 1 or more structural damage cards. So I think 6 out of the 8 have extra ways to get valor points. The abilities below can be triggered once per turn for a cost of 1 valor point. So this one, for example, so return 1 valor point. All heroes present may return 1 injury card from their hand or discard stack. So each of them have abilities like this now added to their hero card, which may or may not compensate fully for the increased difficulty that this new timer mechanism was probably going to introduce.
Sounds good.
So I'll just take out the hero cards so that you can have a look at them.
Don't let us choose, it'll take longer.
Well,
I'm a modulator. Based on nothing.
based on nothing.
Alright.
Nice picture.
Okay, well,
Well,
with
a
a
mechanical
sword-
ant, but you know. I'm pretty sure.
with 3
Senate-
players, it's even more crucial that we
choose wisely.
have a good. Yes.
Right. So based on this, get rid of the take away guys that are no good.
Based on this, all right. So you've got access to structural right off the bat, which
Yeah.
is good. And then no mental at all, though.
Yeah. All right.
So
I bet
both.
Will-O-Wisp is mental.
Yeah.
He doesn't look strong.
Will-O-Wisp,
Snowflake is good.
Night Watchman, Wing Sentinel, and Our Lady of Shadows, I think, all have mental. Yeah. And since the villain has mental symbols right on him, we should probably go.
Two
So,
mentals.
Wing Sentinel and Night Watchman are both fairly buff also. But neither of them get structural till much later. And in terms of movement, Wing Sentinel has a bit of an advantage.
The asterisk, I'm guessing, is for a special effect as well? Special.
Yes, that special text on the actual card itself.
Do you remember off by heart what pyrokinesis does?
Yeah, it nails a bunch of henchmen
Just
effectively.
an extra punch.
Yeah, like it takes care of a lot of them at once, I think.
Wing Sentinel's probably got movement advantages, right?
Yeah, he flight.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, so
Getting around is important too.
it is.
Ooh, I've got teleportation. I've never used it.
So yeah, I'm gonna recommend one of us take Wing Sentinel, and then
I thought you were taking Shadows. Is she any good?
I'm trying to decide on.
Decisions. Take whichever one looks like a polo guy, like this one.
Looks like a what?
He looks like a polo player. You know you should be playing polo?
A
So dressed all
post-apocalyptic,
nice. He's got his little hammer thing.
post-apocalyptic polo player.
Yes, well, he does wear kind of a funny mask for polo.
all right. So let's
Maybe
put
don't wear the
Snowflake
hattie there,
back.
Looks like a bit of a dandy.
The dandy janitor.
Also looking at structure, we don't have a lot of that.
Well, he's got
He's got quite a
structural, but it would not hurt to have 2 people with structural.
Sometimes buildings fall down.
It
Yes.
doesn't seem like anyone has
Sometimes buildings.
mental and structural.
No, that's probably fair.
I can go up to get some mental.
Yeah. And
But it takes a while to get there.
and both of these guys can go up to get structural, but at level 3. Upgrading. We're back to get a level 3. You need to give back 3 levels in cards. So it could be 3 level 1s or a level 2 and a level 1.
Okay.
So that's slightly easier. So you taking that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take this.
So, just to cover upgrading in general then, so to upgrade to a level, you need to give up cards of the level you're upgrading to, plus valor points of the level you're upgrading to?
Yes, exactly. And that's pretty
It's an
simple.
easy
that
way to remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 or it's 3. You know,
Yeah.
both. Whether it's
The
levels and valors.
combination doesn't matter.
Okay, so here's modulator and Our Lady of Shadows. Okay. So if you want to make it quick, just take the...
That's the recommended number of sums, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to make it so.
So guys, through your thought process as you hold up the game for everybody, Lucas.
I will, just to take a little extra longer. I will definitely take plenty of mental blast. Although depends. Are you going?
I'm gonna go with the recommended daily rations of
Does anyone have special? What do we call these different ones?
special powers.
Special. Does anyone have special powers that lets them deal with any given type of threat?
I've got one here that allows me that lets all other heroes and myself draw an extra card, and then I've got a way to either decrease the terror level, or Heightened Senses allows me to look at more cards where I am and discard some of them,
Okay.
which can come in pretty useful. So I'm going to say terror level be damned. Okay, so all the cards you're not using goes under your character card.
I have one that neutralize means what? Defeating it or putting it back? Neutralizing.
Discard is it stays in the area where you're discarding it. So if you're discarding at a threat, it goes back in the threat after. If you're discarding a power card, it goes in your discard pile. If you're neutralizing or you're returning something, it goes back to the supply.
Because I have one that lets me discard.
Only one of these now?
No, there should be 3. It's just that one of them is purple because I reprinted it. And
Oh, okay. Oh, I see the other ones now.
Yeah.
I thought, ooh, they're color coded now.
no, it's just that I forgot which color I was using for that. So
you have the one that lets you see a couple of cards.
Yeah, but only in my location.
I have an anti-henchman one.
Oh, I see why this one could be useful. What do you think? Precognition or Shadow Wand?
I think I'll go with those two.
I was thinking the mobility with 3 players might be...
Yeah, the mobility might be more important.
Does this go somewhere?
No, it
stays here.
Yeah, it stays in your personal library. So once you've pulled out all the cards you start with,
There's no way to get it anywhere.
Not currently, no.
Right, which is fine, I think.
Yeah.
And 15 of these?
Yes. No. Well, two special powers, and then 13 level 1 superpowers. Okay. So over here, the only things we're keeping track of now is the terror level. So if it goes up to the level indicated by the 3-player icon, then we've lost. Master plot If it reaches 10, then we've lost. The clock keeps track of the time. If it reaches midnight and we haven't vanquished the villain, then we've lost. And then the henchman progression is tied to the clock here. If you notice at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, it's pointing to that card there. That's when we trigger that.
Okay. Yeah. I see that now. More or less. It should be noted that I've changed the character a little bit. I got rid of shock waves, and instead have taken a bit of extra of the electromagnetic, and I think this is the other one. One more teleportation.
Okay.
In the hopes of upgrading that to be able to move around easier.
Yeah, alright. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not sure when the last time you played was, Lucas, but another thing you can do when you upgrade is discard a card from your hand and gain a card of that type. A level 1 card.
I think it was like that when we played was dominant.
Yes. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, so starting on the first turn, I guess the rule book will need to address the fact that the clock isn't moved forward on the first turn because it's when we start. And no event card would be drawn, so we would start at draw cards. So when you guys are done, you shuffle your 15 starting cards and draw 5. Pew, pew. So I have some of all of my powers.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorta.
He's lying. The camera just adds a few powers to his hand.
That's right.
Oh, and for the people at home, you can look at my cool modding job on this Winged Sentinel card. Winged Sentinel figure.
Yeah.
Pew pew! And who else we got? We got Lady of Shadows and the Modulator, which I also... this thing's broken. Now he looks like he's going to play shuffleboard.
Yes, he does.
The shuffleboardist. Yeah. He needs a hat, though.
Alright, maybe I didn't shuffle. No, I did shuffle these well. It's coincidence.
Oh, you'll need to reshuffle them because you didn't put your
Yeah.
superpowers in there.
It's just as well then.
Mulligan. Alright, so we don't need anything else from this box for now, or for this game. And we get to decide where we start. One possible thing to add or change in the game is putting a starting location directly on the character cards. Hi.
Hi. Do you have highlighters? What's up there?
Yeah.
Where'd that light come from? What's
I
new?
bought it and then installed it. I got it at Valley Village.
Cool.
I know.
That's a good idea. We could just use extra light on this table.
Yeah, that's the light we were talking about, and it's lit out.
Looks very lighty.
Yeah.
Oh, are you? Sorry, are you?
I am, so now you're on video.
Do you want to be part?
No.
This is
I just need a highlighter.
this is
Maybe
Okay. I'm sorry.
It'll be all over YouTube tomorrow. It'll go viral, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the seasickness part of our program.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's for now assume that we can choose our starting locations.
I think that makes sense
Yeah.
in terms of we don't know where the threats are going to be, so it might be kind of silly to have to start.
Yeah.
It will speed up the game though, because then there's less talking, discussing where you're going to go. It's just like boom, you're there.
Yeah,
and
it
move
starts.
on.
It starts the
And it's
game
thematic,
like
really.
right in the action, rather than oh, you get a call and you meet at a bar. What do you do?
Yeah.
I'll spend 6 cards to move over here. Turn 2. So
That's true.
This plot here requires structural. The other ones are both fairly generic in terms of. So none of them require mental. That one requires structural. The other two, in terms of how potentially damaging these are, this one doesn't have an X effect. So, so it will only go off, next turn. Hey, get back here.
By fluke.
But the exclamation mark effect is that you add 1 to the terror card unless all heroes present discard a power card. So that has the potential to ramp up the terror level. Here, no exclamation, but 1 X effect, add 1 to master plot, and then when it triggers, add 1 to master plot again. And then this one here has all types of effects. All heroes present must discard a power card. Then you add 1 to the master plot, and then when it finally triggers at the end, add 1 to master plot and to terror level. So I would say this one is a little more troublesome. But I think I can cover pretty much everything there, except there are 2 structural damage cards in here.
The X and the exclamation mark effects, do they get activated even if we're not there?
Yeah, all effects. If no one's there, then you just go through all the effects there.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
But that one, the exclamation doesn't actually matter if we're not there. Because it
no,
affects
correct.
heroes.
Yeah, it affects heroes present. So if something affects heroes that are present, if there are no heroes present, then we're scot-free.
One thing that I'm looking at is this one has 1 structural, and this one says it has 2 structural thingies in it.
Yeah,
But this card has 1 picture of a structural, and this card has no picture of a structural.
correct.
So maybe they're equal on structural.
Well, it could come
potential.
out. I guess.
True, but here, without structural, there's no way you can succeed. Here,
Worst case scenario, you take injuries because the building falls
exactly.
down. Gotcha.
Worst case scenario, you can still foil the plot, and
That-
even with this building collapsing around you.
Okay, I see.
So, do you want to team up and try to nail this one?
Quickly.
Now, the plot card's always active. That means it's always accessible, right? Which is a difference.
So if you have the symbols,
So if you've
for
got
it,
the
you can
symbols
just-
for it, then you're golden.
is anything in our way?
Yes, you still draw the same number of cards you would normally
and
draw.
you still have to fight your way through them, right?
Yeah, and then there's still the chain of command rule, which says henchmen protect minions, protect villains, protect plots.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Bystanders and structural damage,
Are secondary.
yeah, they can be dealt with or not.
Everything
They
else
don't
will have
prevent
to
you
be
from.
dealt first.
Yeah, exactly. Although thematically, we were looking at perhaps having a rule where you don't gain valor if bystanders were injured. But then again, maybe that's too punishing. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
it might be. Anywho's, let's try.
I can move around quickly afterwards.
Okay.
Both
And I mean,
probably
that's-
can.
Yeah, because of the
Plus
time
you're
spent
But-
well
too bad.
located.
Oh,
As
and
I'm
you're
not.
going
Both of those
central.
plots, though, require 4 symbols. Like, there's essentially no way that... Like, I could cover this and ignore anything else that comes up. If I could, ignore anything.
No,
If
I
everything-
would say team up is what I was agreeing
Mhm.
with. So team up here.
Okay.
There's no structure whatsoever. So
Okay.
we don't need to worry about that either of us. So
All right, let's take the pussy way out.
sounds good.
We're going to be at the amusement park plot. And
That's so lucky.
yes.
And
to get
for
my
the
banking
record,
done
I'm
on
pretty
that.
sure on the Justice League cartoon, they did say, Flash, you take care of so and so, and Batman, you go there, and I'll go here, and so there you
Is
go.
that Wonder Woman you're doing an impression of? Or?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That
Little
was an
bossy.
excellent impression. A little bossy. Sounds about right.
So just for reference sake, in case I forget, like there's an so I gain an additional valor point when I contribute to neutralizing a plot card,
Nice.
and my ability here is for 1 valor point, all heroes present can take an additional free move.
Ooh.
As in one spot?
As in, yeah,
For 1 valor?
all heroes present can move an additional 1.
It doesn't sound like very good economy.
Well, it depends how easy it is.
Well,
How
rather
badly-
rather
it is
than
also easier to
everyone
gain valor
losing 1
points,
card.
so-
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
it may need to be buffed or what is
Mine is I gain an additional valor point if I contribute to neutralizing a minion or villain card.
okay.
And I can return 1 valor point to ensure that all heroes present avoid gaining 1 injury card.
Okay, cool. And yours be where?
It's for doing structural damage. I get the valor point, and it's a avoid injury. All heroes present may return 1 injury card from hand or discard top of the stack.
Okay.
So it sounds like yours. I'm not sure if it's exactly like yours.
His prevents injuries. Yours allows you to return
Yes.
injury cards that you have
Yeah.
already.
Mm.
So healing, essentially.
So we have lots of healing available.
Okay.
We
So
hang out together.
anybody pushing?
You and I should hang out together. And do
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
Stitch 'em. We can't push. I don't think. We can push
we
for
can
injury
push
cards.
for injury cards. Correct. So you can push up to
Ah.
2. You can push and draw up to 2 more cards. Each card either costs you an injury or valor point. And upgrade. So you can't upgrade to a higher level, but if you want more of that type of card in your deck, then you can discard. So for example, I'll discard an Aura of Might, and I'll gain another level 1 Aura of Might directly into my hand. So now my deck has 16 cards, 1 more Aura of Might.
It's cheating.
And
That's
you can
not
do
cheating.
any amount of that?
Yes, you can. So if you wanted all of your Aura of Might cards, you could go through that process, 4 times in a row or whatever.
Trying to remember the ratio. Or
It should be on the back. Oh, unless
no,
you change
because I
it. You
customized.
customized it.
I'm
All right,
gonna
so
grab an extra
movement,
electromagnetic
and then if you've got any
Oh,
special
okay.
power cards, now would be the time to play
Right.
them
I
too.
don't know if there's any value to me pushing. What is we could have a villain in here, right?
No.
Isn't
Henchman.
that what?
No. Villain cards, they're going to be
Oh
on...
no, right. There, I shuffled them all together here. I was trying
Yeah.
to remember.
Villain cards and minion cards, they're now on little stands and they on top, and they're active always also, so you
Right.
can see them.
So there's the only out of the ordinary thing out at the moment is the plot itself.
Correct.
So I don't think there's any value in pushing.
So you're gonna get. We get
nice
2
nice-
cards up plus 1 per hero, right?
Correct.
Okay. So only by fluke, if I push twice and I get perfect combination, then I could be able to defeat the whole thing all in one go. Although it's improbable. But theoretically possible.
It is possible.
Right, I'm going to go the injury route this time. I've never gone that route before. I'm going to take 2 injuries.
Okay, so they go in your hand.
Cards straight into the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Anything you gain always goes right into your hand. That's the simplest way to do it.
And then I'm going to get 2 more cards.
Yeah.
So, nice big fat hand. Look out, world. Here I come.
Okay, so threat
Just
phase.
gonna see-
So I will take care of the timer token. So 1 timer token is removed from each location. That's done. And now we resolve the threat. So let's look at the one where there is no hero present. So
Okay.
the plot is out. And then this is shuffled quickly. And 2 cards plus 1 per hero is 2 cards. Henchman, innocent bystander. Alright. So the cards are, the effects on the cards are resolved in
Order.
They're resolved
Hierarchy.
in, yes, what's the word I'm looking for? Beep,
Chain of command.
Chain of command. Order. Yes. So bystanders before or after, let's zoom in before, add 1 to the terror level. So do you want to bring the terror level up 1? Right. Henchmen, all heroes present, ignore. Exclamation mark, all heroes present, ignore. And then add 1 to the master plot.
Oh, that's your job.
Is it?
Yes.
I wouldn't do your job.
Okay,
It's
and
my
then
fault. Nice.
this 0 effect here doesn't take place because there's still some tokens.
There's still time.
Okay, let's see how Al does.
So we got looting and 3 more.
Yes. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 bystander cards.
That should be interesting.
Yes.
Alright.
Now,
I can go for the
So-
looting and bypass the bystanders if need be.
okay, so first thing is immediate
Right.
effects. Add 1 to the terror level unless all heroes present discard a power card. So you either discard a card or the terror goes up 1.
Well, it's the same difference if I rescue someone, theoretically.
Yes.
So, I'll do it that way then.
Okay.
Discard 1, keep the terror at bay. Alright.
Okay. So now
The other one
it's
happens
you.
at the very end, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So now, I have a structure. Uh-oh, I may not have a fist. I may be fistless altogether. Uh-oh.
So you would have fist on Shockwave.
So that's the one I took out.
That's the one you took out. Okay,
And,
can you save the bystanders then?
What does that one do?
Discard this card to avoid getting an injury card.
Oh,
So can we
I
Get
never
rid
had
of-
a guy without a fist before. Right.
the
It's
modulator
number,
has
it's number.
stumps.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
I
hammer's not
got
good.
saving guy out of the yin yang.
Alright, so at least the terror level doesn't go up.
Could I have? I assume that I could not use
Do you want to return those?
teleportation to avoid my pushing injury.
No, because look,
It's a-
that happens in the threat. You can use that effect in the threat phase when you're pushing.
Threat phase.
when
Okay,
you're
okay,
pushing,
makes
that's the
sense.
hero phase.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright, so looting card goes back. Alright, so little
Can
problem
he
with
gain
symbols there.
new powers? That
He can gain that level 1 power
by doing what?
by discarding any power card and returning 1 valor point.
Much better just to take it in the first place. And then draw all the extras in. I forgot about the drawing extras. That's okay.
Okay,
needs
so here, plots out, and then 2 cards and 2 cards for the 2 heroes. So 3 henchmen, a bystander. Okay, so no immediate effects. So let's. Where's my notes? Here they are.
Can take care of the plot all by myself.
Okay, so henchmen are still easy right now, so let's nail those bastards. And I'll save this guy with flight. So we got it?
Yep.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay, so that's all discarded. Oh shoot. I could have gained an extra valor by contributing to neutralizing the plot.
Oh.
But,
Well, I'm
I
sure we
forgot.
can arrange that somehow.
wow, it's,
It's
it's,
similar.
Considering I had a.
I think
saving-
that what the rules should state that once a card's played, it's played, like to avoid, like trying to maximize,
Mind you, that won't actually avoid it if people really want to do it.
They'll just
No.
do it
just
for.
poison.
But just like
Yeah.
games,
Don't know
just
they're
like
breaking
co-op
the rules.
games that have restrictions on talking, the players can ignore them if they wish, but
Right.
if it's part of the game, it's part of the game. So that's discarded or taken out of the game completely. Triangulation. So Valor. So we all faced a
Something.
threat. Lucas and I
Defeated
neutralize it,
something. Yeah.
and then you didn't face a minion or a villain, and you didn't
Knock them.
neutralize any
Yeah.
of the structurals. So
Yeah.
you get the 1, we get the 2. Okay. Discard. So if you have any cards in hand that you don't want, you would discard them now. So for example, your injuries.
Yeah.
Exactly. We check game end conditions. So no, game's not over. Milestones. No, nothing happens yet. So next turn. Countdown
What
clock.
about these? Oh, you already did.
Yeah. Oh, well, so the timer token can be removed if the plot, is no longer there. Okay, and you draw an event card.
New threat. Draw one plot card and deploy it.
All right, so that can
Plot
be discarded
cards.
over there. And then the plot cards, that's right. Riot.
5 henchmen.
2
Financial.
timer tokens. Financial district.
I thought that's where we were.
Yes, that is where we are. So now we go down 1, police department. Over here. So 2 tokens.
More conveniently located. Anyway.
You need 2
need
extra
2 more.
bystanders.
1 structural.
Je fais pas de celui. Les fraises. Voilà.
C'est pour le jus de pain. Sauce aux pommes. Tu peux prendre sauce aux pommes. He's trying to scam extra dessert.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Did he succeed?
Well, if you count applesauce as an extra dessert, then yes, he did.
Lara would. She
Yeah.
loves applesauce.
So now draw card. So you draw back up to 5. And now it's the hero phase. Shoot. Okay, well I've got my 2 special power cards. I'll play them in front of me. But that means I've got few other cards in hand. With my free move and flight, I can get to the riot. Being here, we need to either discard a card or gain an injury as an immediate effect, which means I would have 1 card remaining.
I'm thinking of upgrading my mental blast, so, and I also got one of these, so I probably
Okay.
too much of
Do you have?
it unless I push.
So your movement is that's it, right? And that you need to spend. You need to gain an injury to do
Yeah.
that. Okay. So 1 free move.
So if I want to upgrade to level 2, I would return.
Yeah, you
2
return
level-
those 2 into your personal library. You
see
return the
what
2 valor points. All right.
So to get a card that's outside, I use 1 Valor and just 1 other level 1 card,
Yeah.
and then I can search for it.
Yes. And thankfully you gain it in hand because.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Are you going to be able to? Because that's going to go off this turn if you it's going to succeed this turn if you don't neutralize it.
It's questionable.
Questionable.
Well, it's yes. I reckon I can.
I can
do it.
potentially help.
Well, it depends whether I draw a structure building, which I will only be able to do by pushing, which I'll only be able to do by taking injuries. So can I push 1 at a time?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, well, I got it on the first draw, so I've got that one.
Beautiful.
I've
So,
got
This here you
that.
say discard this card and a triangle or circle power card to neutralize active cards in any threat. Does that mean
Yeah, so
neutralize one threat card.
so discard this card, okay, from in front of you to play one triangle or circle power card to neutralize. Yeah, in any active threat or in any threat.
But you say cards and
Oh, hello.
To neutralize active cards. So, for example, if you had a circle card or a triangle
Yes,
card
I know. You're the
that
you're awesome.
had 3 symbols on it,
Yes, you're
well, you
very
can
nice.
play that, and the card is plural here because you might be able to play that on more than one card, right?
Oh, it's about
So
helping
it-
out somewhere where I'm not.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, precisely. It allows you to play somewhere you're not. Yeah, so if you've got a card like that in hand that you could send his way in case he needs it, because I'm not sure that I can actually even reach there.
That should be fine.
I have a mix.
Okay. Well,
I
can
don't
you,
have structural, but I have a mix of.
but you
anything
have a
else.
circle or a triangle card?
I do.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
So I'll take my free movement here, and then I'll use my flight to get here, and I will. Actually, I've got heightened senses, so I can even discard that plot. I'll push for 1, just to have an extra card in hand to. And with leadership, I can have an extra 1 still. Because, I inspire myself.
Absolutely. There's
Which
no
is the
chance that Al needs any mental, right?
No, but if he needs to neutralize a henchman, then he might need that mental for that.
Oh, it could be used for money. I'll have more. I'm just trying to think. Because I'm thinking there's no point in me trying to get somewhere with so few cards this turn, but I could get a little bit closer and then potentially go from there.
Yeah, well, at the very least, you should use your free movement to,
Oh, and I can only use one action. One
It's
card.
only a single. Yeah, it's a single card.
So I'll do my free one here.
Yeah.
And I will discard an extra one to go here just to give me some flexibility.
Perfect. Okay.
You're on the transit system. Nice.
Right smack dab
Okay.
in the
So
middle
everybody's
of the
pushed,
transit
upgraded,
system.
moved, and used powers.
Yeah.
Okay. Threat phase. So timer tokens. 1 removed from each location. And we're off. So let's resolve this one first. Odd experiment plot is out. And 2 other cards. Henchman and bystander again. So, all heroes present, discard a card. Doesn't occur. Add 1 to the terror level, please. And add 1 to the master plot success level.
We're still minutes away from losing. It's fine.
Yes. Minutes. Alright, over here. Police Department Riot.
Is it alright if I just do my own?
Absolutely. So, 3 cards. Ugh. Including structural damage. 2 henchmen. Okay, so immediate effects. I gain an injury card. Could I have an injury card, please?
Yes.
Thank you. And I have to discard a power card or gain an injury card. So I'll do that. Discard telekinesis.
Fight to the henchman.
And I can nail these 2
And
guys.
keep in mind I can contribute, so see if you can do the...
I'll see how far I can get.
Add 1 to the terror level. That's the X effect of the riot, and the X effect of the structural damage means 1 structural damage point here. So structural
Okay.
damage card goes.
Henchman. Any one of those things
shoot.
will work on henchman.
I completely forgot
Also,
to use
if
my
you
card.
have something else you'd like to keep... No,
Pow.
I guess I can say that.
Alright.
I'm unable to save this guy unless maybe I use one of these things.
These guys have been neutralized.
If you can't, then I can do it for you.
Do you have to use anything fancy to do it?
Yes. And
This
if
kind
you
of one of these ones?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well let's find out now because I'm unclear on the rule. This one allows me to make one of my things, my cards have double the symbols.
One
I
superpower card played by one hero, that could be you, in your location produce twice the number.
So presumably, would that then produce 2 energy, or could it be 1 energy and 1 falling?
No, so right now you're producing 1 energy. You
It
can
be double energy.
Yeah.
I need your help, Ben.
Not necessarily, because you could double whichever one you're using as the bystander here.
Yes.
And you could use 1 bystander here and 1 there.
You're right. I could do it that way.
Yep, you can.
Well, then I'm good.
Also, a note: power augmentation needs an S on produces.
Yes.
All right. No, I still
Yeah,
keep
it's
this.
probably
So
best
I
to
will
save
double
it.
up on my
Okay.
teleportation and get them all myself.
And was there anything that I could have? Well, I guess too late.
No, unless you could provide structural, and I don't think you can with those symbols. So everything here's been neutralized?
Yeah.
And the plot itself has been...
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes on the external discard plot here. The one that out of the game, yeah. Okay, and these are returned to the supply. I'll just sort them. So, bystanders. Henchmen. Structural. Alright, Valor. So, I get a 1. Lucas doesn't get any. Al gets 1 for being there, 1 for neutralizing the plot. Did you take care of a structural?
Only that was on the plot.
No, so a structural damage card.
That's what I suspected.
Okay.
Hero.
I will
phase.
discard
So
one
disc-
of mine.
So you don't have any injuries in hand or in your discard deck? Okay, so because you could have rested.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I will discard my other injury.
And
Draw
I have an
4,
injury card
then
in hand, and I
shuffle.
have Valor points, so I could get rid of a Valor point to get rid of the injury card, but I won't because I'm hoping to upgrade.
Oh, because I could do that, right? I could keep the injury card in my hand and now use one of my valors to...
You can also do that if it's in your discard pile. So
Oh, from my particular guy. Yeah, or discard. But I'm shuffling now.
okay.
I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, so start of round 3. So countdown clock moves 1 tick. Event card.
Minion. Dum dum dum.
Alright. Draw 1 plot card and deploy it, adding the topmost minion card. So if you want to take the topmost plot, and we'll put the minion. Chronobot Mark 1. Goes in this fancy little holder.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Just to...
Prevent Lucas from seeing it.
Yes. You can't see it. It goes to Axis Chemicals, which is somewhere, I'm sure. Over here. Can you put that out of the game? Thank you.
And 3 bystanders.
Yeah. And 3 timer tokens.
So you're getting all ready for Ludo?
Yeah, well, I was going to show you guys, because part of what I thought I was missing at Fan Expo this weekend was...
Oh, yeah.
was just some way to identify my... Because, like, it was so loud, so busy, that I couldn't really attract, like...
You're just kind of sitting there.
I'm just, yeah,
people
I was
walking
just
by.
lost in the notion of, like, no one having a clue who I am, what I'm there for, what's going on. So... having stuff like that, like for Ludo Outaouais, when because for the contest finalists, which none of us are yet, but you know, perhaps eventually. Last year, that sort of thing was missing to identify, like whether why is this
why these people
crappy
sitting
looking
in the
game
corner there?
like being being set up
All
here.
the games were set up there
Yes,
for
exactly.
people to play, or just for,
Yeah, to demo the games because there's a public's prize also, right? So. For the people to vote, you know, they could vote for most handsome, which, you know, could be me. But, you know, theoretically they want to play the game. Anyway, at Valley Village I found like 5 or 6 of those things.
So if need be, I could potentially borrow some.
Yes, exactly.
It's pretty cocky.
It's an if.
Yeah, well, I thought the if part was pretty cocky.
Okay, I will
It was. That's how I meant it for sure.
set that up. I just need to go set my kid up in bed. So I'm drawing 5 cards.
So the minion is always there as well.
Yes, so the minion's always active, the plot's always active, so...
There's a reasonable chance I'll just walk over to that one.
That sounds like a good plan.
Not only is it close, but it has lots of structure.
Yeah, I think I'll get myself over there too. That's my discard.
So I get 1 free move, and then I discard 1 free move. Oh, and I have structure in my hand. 2 structures. Nice. Yeah, so if I were to upgrade and walk, I'll have 2 cards in my hand by the time I get there. I have a feeling I'm not going to do much upgrading this game. At this rate.
If we gain injury, does that go into our hand or discard?
It goes into your hand straight away, and then it goes into your discard at the end.
I don't know if it makes sense.
You have the choice. Once you're done, you can discard cards out of your hand. That's when you would get rid of the injury. Why it goes into your hand now, I'm not sure, except maybe some powers might be get rid of a discard that's in your hand or in your discard pile, and then if it's in your hand, it qualifies. Where if it was only in your discard pile, and your power says only get rid of 1 in your hand. I don't know why. I'm guessing that might be the reason. Or it could be that whenever you get a card, it goes into your hand like you do with the powers when you upgrade them, and that's just the standardization.
Maybe. Or maybe it might also be relevant for... might be relevant for... keeping in your hand for 1 round, let's say, when you know that you're going to reshuffle your or actually right now might be a good example. If I want to push again, I don't need to introduce 2 injury cards because I would have to shuffle my discard. We're wondering why the injury card goes into your hand, not into your discard.
Yeah.
But I think I just thought of a good example because I pushed, so I took an injury. If I want to push again, I would take another injury into my hand and shuffle my discard, which doesn't have those injuries in it.
Yeah, it allows you to manage it slightly more.
Right.
It also simplifies things rules-wise to say that whenever you gain a card, it goes in your hand. No matter if you're gaining an injury or if you're gaining...
So as a team, we got it.
We got it! We did it. We did it. We did it.
So I'll just push once. I don't know...
we went over it a bit quickly, but game end conditions and milestones, none of them are applicable right now, so...
And
we have moved... everything else has been moved forward.
And are we in the hero phase right now? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
So I will use... I'll use the Shadow Walk and gain an injury to get myself to any location. So I'll get myself here.
Okay.
Good call. Do you have fists?
I believe I do. I think I have just...
Yeah, one of these two...
Because I cannot resolve that one on my own.
So either the Riot or the Odd Experiment is going to go kablooey.
I'm going to walk.
Oh. So should I maybe get over there?
I don't know, but only if you can...
And I can go
only
here.
if you can neutralize it, right? Because otherwise... Or delay it somehow.
I do
Because
have...
I
am able to neutralize the threat.
Yeah, but even if you have to discard a card. And there are 3 cards that are going to get drawn on there. Potentially 3 henchmen, right?
I have a ton of symbols.
Yeah.
And especially for henchmen.
Okay, I'm going to
actually, let me just make sure that I have enough. Or if I have enough energy blast.
See, and that's where it's tricky to know whether I should upgrade now or not, because I need the symbols to take care of the Riot. But if I upgrade my energy blade, then I can use it to also get rid of injuries.
So what happens if this?
Yeah, I'm gonna upgrade my
enter level. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I think I'm gonna go here instead.
Yeah.
Just because that would be master plot and terror level if that succeeds, and I can beat the plot.
Yeah. Well, all I can do is a delaying action here, because obviously I will not be able to. At some point, I may be able. I could theoretically at some point solve it.
Right. Okay.
Theoretically, at some point.
If you get the right combination.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I guess
This is rocking.
I could ditch one of these. I need those. I could ditch this one and get the one thing I need, and as long as there's no henchmen, well, that's not gonna happen. 'Cause there's no bystanders in here. Oh, there's 3 bystanders. There's a lot of henchmen. If I face henchmen, we'll be screwed. If there's no henchmen,
That only screws you up, not us.
Not forgetting that this guy's also active, right?
oh, explains why he was in my way.
That would explain it.
So maybe you shouldn't go there either.
Oh, I was
But
thinking
I'm not
of
sure there's much more you can do.
because I found these Warhammer 40k
Suck.
Necrons.
Oh, and I have to fight him. Oh man.
I picked these up for $3 for the just the minifigs.
What?
Yeah,
That's outrageous.
Nice.
yeah. The box is like they're painted, but look at these. These look like henchmen or what?
Definitely.
Big laser guns.
Good find.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's
Those
even
look
dice
like-
in
I
there.
was gonna say those are not 40k dice.
Anyway, and I was thinking, well, yeah, but like, you know, if there's the figure, then there's not the card. But if there's a slot at the back of the figure, you stand the card up behind it, then it looks awesome.
It's actually is a pretty decent chronobot. I'll buy that for $1.
It makes
Necrobot.
perfect sense.
Yeah, so $3 for a full Warhammer 40k thing.
That's a hell of a deal.
That's insane.
Oh, you got a card on the floor there, Mr. Cheater.
It's probably
Would've
a
been
card
more
I
like-
needed too.
That probably would have been what, like $30, $40.
Oh Christ, for probably a lot more than that. It's like 20. It's a box of 20 Necron figures, so I would say more in the $60.
For $3.
If only I cared about.
Painted.
If only I cared about, you know, Warhammer 40k. But I like
Where'd you
figures.
find that?
Salvation Army.
Wow.
Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you waste your time. But mostly I was looking for those stands, so I managed to find a few of those. Okay, pushes, upgrades, moves, and powers, all done?
No way, man.
New way. Alright.
Oh, actually, maybe I should push once more. Since I'm there by myself.
Question.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
The electromagnetism. If I upgrade that, do I get a mental instead of those things, or is it in addition? Do you think?
It's an addition.
So it'd be all 3 things.
Right, but not necessarily all at the same time, you know? But you can have a look. I mean, it's...
No way. I'm not gonna have
Oh,
to
see,
look.
it's right there.
I'm just gonna do it.
Electromagnetism. So you get an extra... next to one of those.
Or these
Nice.
2. That's it.
The general rule, and I don't think it's broken anywhere, is when a card moves up a level, there are either 2 additional symbols, not necessarily new symbols, but 2 more symbols on the card, or 1 symbol and the text is either there's new text or it's better text. So there's always 2 things changing. So it's either 2 new symbols or a symbol and a text upgrade.
Yeah.
So that tells you, you know, so here you don't have any new symbols, but there's 1 symbol more and the text.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because that would be foolhardy.
Okay, so I'm not sure where Luke's disappeared to, but we can start the
I'm
threat.
going to ditch 1 Valor, and go for that 1 symbol that I never wasn't putting in my hand. Shockwave. And doing my mistakes from the initial.
Alright, so 3 timer tokens taken off. So these 2 plots are going to end one way or another. So I'll resolve mine here.
Oh, just go ahead and do mine.
Yeah, so don't forget the Chronobot's also active.
Yeah, so he's
So
first.
Minion is before plot. Henchman would protect the Chronobot from...
Well, there's nothing I'm going to do about it, but we'll see what happens. I'll hang out here and we'll see.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not worse than if I'm not here.
Well, thanks to my efforts, the police department's about to blow up. Okay, so immediate effects. I get an injury card. And
No
I have to
immediate
discard or I gain an injury card. I will take the injury. Or... yeah, I will take the injury.
Okay, let's say I zap
So,
him. I undo his building.
shoot, I could have...
Oh, I assume I roll the dice for this one?
Yes, you do.
Curses.
Mental.
Anyone got a spare mental they can throw?
Potentially.
Yeah, he might... you've got your astral
I
projection?
got that
I
one.
do. In that case,
So
should we
leadership-
resolve mine at the same time?
I got
No.
this.
We can't. Because then the question is, I don't know what I'm getting on mine.
Technically, we can only be resolving things simultaneously if they don't affect each other.
So I probably should have resolved mine first.
That might be true, but you were not here. And so we thought you just left us.
We assumed you were being flighty.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Let me figure out what I need here. At the very least.
Okay, so this guy can eat it into teeth, and then I can take care of the plot, but the innocent bystander...
No, if I'm not going to get rid of the chronobot
This
anyway.
goes up one.
Just a second. I may potentially be returned.
I thought we had to do things. There was some order of events.
Well, I'm not resolving. Like, I can choose to help this with yours, because I'm not resolving mine yet. So
Oh.
I'm just trying to
You're playing the odds.
play the odds. Yeah, exactly. So I definitely need those two. We need these.
Presumably, what we would do if you helped, all it'll do is it'll get rid of a chronobot.
Okay, so this has got to...
I guess, which isn't a bad thing.
And I have to discard a card. So I do have. What is it that you don't have at all for the chronobot?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, that mental.
He's needing mental. Sorry.
I can potentially give 2 mental with 1 card.
One will suffice. That would not.
So
Could I
probably
use
better.
this if you sent over 2 mentals? One of your mentals could kill that henchman, in which case I could save this other bystander.
That makes a lot of sense.
So if you do that, you'll get rid of the henchman and put the
And
final bullet
contribute.
into the chronobot's demise.
And then I'm gonna get an extra valor point.
Really?
out
For
of that.
taking out the chrono?
Even though I'm not there, right? Because I
What
contributed.
does it say?
It says gain 1 valor point when you contribute to neutralizing minion or villain card.
Then-
Doesn't
yeah.
say your
Let's
location.
do it. Done deal.
Alright. So he's neutralized. So does he go in
Super,
his
yeah.
nice spot?
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep the little holder for him. For the next one.
Excellent.
Dice has been used. That can.
So this still takes place though? So the X effect here is add a structural damage card to this threat deck. So take a structural damage card.
That doesn't sound that bad.
This has been neutralized.
These ones have both been neutralized.
Okay, 2 bystanders to go. Okay, and now
This is
Lucas's
the usual. I used all my cards.
threat. Here we go. So immediate effects. All heroes present must discard a power card.
No, hold on. So let me just make sure I'm discarding that one. I believe it's one of the mental. Yeah, it's mental.
Okay. And all heroes present gain 1 injury card.
I got 4 this turn.
Ouch.
I've got it. Yeah.
Okay. So now it's your go.
So I have with these 4, I have everything I need for the. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay, whew. Works out. I forgot I had. There's an order of
Mm-hmm.
things there. So I'll use this on the henchman,
Yep.
and then I have 2 of those, fist and a bystander. For
Beautiful. Okay. So the threat will dissolve, but these effects still take place. So we'll add 1 to the terror and 1 structural damage to this location, which is the harbor. Yes, and then the rest of these are gone.
Hopefully all those injury cards were worth it. I may come hang out with
So
you, Al.
Al, can you stick that out the game and put these away, Lucas? And Valor points. So we each faced a threat. I neutralized mine. Lucas neutralized his. Al faced a minion.
Yes.
I contributed to neutralizing a plot card, which is my extra VP thing. You contributed.
Yep.
And did you
I
neutralize?
still have not faced the structure. I keep using structural cards,
Yes.
just never on actual
That's-
buildings.
Okay. Well, this isn't going too bad.
No.
So rest. Does anybody? I think I'm going to use 1 valor point to get rid of 1 of these injury cards, which is why rest comes after valor.
I want to see.
Oh, so this is at the end of getting our valor, then you then get a
Yeah.
rest.
So this is in the threat phase still. So we're doing valor,
okay.
then rest, then discard. So
Okay,
the other injury
okay.
card I gained, that one I'm discarding.
So rest allows you to do what?
Rest. If you're not in the location that a
Hmm.
threat was present,
Okay.
then you can get rid of 2 injury
Yeah.
cards from your hand or discard.
Yeah.
Or you can also spend 1 VP to get rid of 1 injury card from your hand or discard.
Yeah.
Even if you were in a location that was a threat.
Okay. Oh, but see, this was a little bit different because all heroes would get rid of it.
Yes.
It was
And you're the
other way.
only one spending.
Yeah. So otherwise, it's like super rest.
Yes.
No.
And that's in the hero phase also.
Yeah,
It's not in the
opposed to
threat phase.
rest.
Yeah. Okay, so discard, game end conditions, we're still not there. Milestones, nope, thankfully. So back to the start. So we're now 11:15. So that moves the henchman progression 1.
So now they're not affected by mental anymore.
Yeah. So now any one of fist or energy. A new event card. I'm going to suspect that's going to be the villain. No, new threat. Draw 1 plot card and deploy it. And that goes outside the game. So high density residential, 3 tokens.
And how many extra bystanders?
3.
So 6 in total. Quite bystandery.
And that requires a buttload of mental.
Wow.
Which thankfully I'm pretty strong in, so.
I can have a double
Mm-hmm.
I'll have
And I'm
usual
not-
none.
I'm not. I'm not too far. Ding, ding, ding.
and that goes.
Right here. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so draw. Bah. Got an injury.
I've got 3 injuries. All 3 of my injuries. And one of my power thingies. So I'm extra useless. Maybe I should just walk off of that and just take a rest turn.
You might, yeah.
Because
I'm going to.
I've got all of
It
one.
seems like we're using the injuries a lot more this game.
Using or getting?
Like, getting them purposefully.
Well, that's mostly
I
due
didn't.
to structural damage.
No, I mean also like choosing to push.
Oh, choosing-
At least I never before had I taken injury to push.
Right,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
I did that at this time as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to upgrade my shadow shaping to level 2.
Oh. Okay, so I think the terror level's our biggest threat right now. Okay, so I'm gonna
2.
use a valor point to use my ability that's on my card, which is each hero's present takes an additional free move. So I'm going to take my usual free move and then another one. And I'm going here mostly to cover bystanders if they fall. Of course, I've only got one card to do that. But with heightened senses, I can also discard the plot, so that'll avoid us taking a terror and a master point.
One time around.
At least this one time around, yeah.
Do my free move. You remember when we rest, if we're not at a threat location, do we get rid of just one injury card?
I think it was one, although it's possible it might be one per valor point spent.
No, not with the spending of valor points, but the one.
Oh, just the regular
you're not at a
resting?
threat location.
In that case, I think it's two.
Oh, okay.
But that's based on virtually nothing except what I think.
That's what I thought too. So.
Yes, I'm hoping to possibly do double rest and get rid of all three. Or just spend my
Be
do
extra
my special.
lazy. Do absolutely nothing. Just get a
Yeah.
a groupie to fan you, feed you grapes.
Yeah. Something like that.
That's not
It's a good plan.
That's not
It's the only plan I have.
if we rest by not being at a threat location, can we get rid of 2 injuries?
2. Up to 2.
Or up to 2. So I got my free move, discard a card to go there.
Okay.
And I think
That's all you guys are
which
doing?
one is
If you come
Probably-
near me, I
probably-
might be able to take away another injury card off you.
well, I won't be able to go right now. Oh, you're just staying there as well? Or are you like that's where you're gonna
Yeah,
be?
I just moved one free move. Oh, well, actually.
And what would you have to do for that?
I would just discard my valor. Because I've got 3 injury cards I can get rid of.
And
So I may just get rid of all 3 while I'm taking the time to get rid of them. And if you happen to stand there,
yeah,
that's
you know what? That's probably worth it. So I'll use
it's
2
going to
extra
cost you 2 cards to
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
fine.
But
Because
guess
I
what?
have 4. I really need to make sure I clean up my hand a little bit.
Okay. So, threat phase starts, timer token's taken off, and then let's start with this one where nobody's at.
Could be all the structurals will come out now. Oh.
Yep, 2
How do you
henchmen.
go up this way?
We don't use that right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was the old solution.
So, add 1 structural card to this threat. So,
Which doesn't seem that threatening.
no, but
Well,
when the
except not
timer
a lot
goes
of
off,
people
the
have
location's
it.
destroyed.
Yeah.
That's, oops, I shouldn't have shuffled that back in.
Yeah. In the meantime, it's just
In
more
the meantime,
structural
whatever.
cards. It's all good.
Okay, so mass amnesia. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna use heightened senses. So play before instantaneous effects, of which there are none. Discard this card to draw 2 additional cards from the threat, and discard 2 of them. Alright, so I'm definitely going to discard Mass Amnesia temporarily, and discard a Henchman. And
So even the ones that permanently show up, you can discard.
yes. So I'm going to beat 2 of them, and then the other one will gain me an injury. Okay, so these 3 cards have been taken care of. Do you mind putting them back there? Alrighty, Valor, so I get a point. Rest.
Yeah!
I'm actually going to use these 2 points to get rid of these 2 injury cards. I'm not doing much upgrading though.
That is the same rest as our rest because we didn't do anything. So we can get rid of 2.
2 for free.
For free? Oh.
Yeah.
Getting them to my discard pile would not be very advantageous.
No.
And... Oh, well, I guess I should have done this back then. Wait, because it's this one. In the hero phase. Oh, we'll pretend we did it then. Don't tell them. We'll each get rid of 1 more.
Don't tell him.
I moved.
That could have been from your hand or your discard pile. If it makes any difference.
I have no hand left. I discarded all moving to where you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you could fan me and feed me grapes.
Share my grapes. My magic grapes with you. Okay. I can keep that 1 card. And then...
If Marky ever sees this video, he's going to have a good laugh about that. Because we're going to be getting a co-op student.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep saying it's to fan us and feed us grapes.
I need to learn how to shuffle these cards.
Okay, so still not game end, no milestones still. So next turn, countdown, clock, event card, Mr. Villain.
It is the villain.
Yeah, figured.
Okay.
And a minion.
Add a successful token to the master plot draw.
1 plot card and deploy
Okay.
it.
Master plot. That was mine.
Yeah.
3. Next one. Draw 1 plot card and deploy it.
Lucas.
I'll do that half of it for you. Okay.
Now, question.
Adding the topmost villain and minion cards to that threat deck. Topmost villain. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah. No.
And
Minion cards?
Yeah.
Oh, is that those ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Chronobot Mark 3. This is gonna
question.
kick our
Am I
ass.
supposed to already have my 5 cards?
Nope. That's after this. After the events.
So I only have 3 cards. We all only have 3 cards then.
No. The milestone that we check milestones at the end. So that's only going to affect us next turn.
Oh.
But the draw is not at the end of the turn?
Nope.
So
Right now we're okay. So
We're right down
right
the
now
bottom phase.
this went up during the event cards phase.
Yeah.
Right.
So 1B at
yeah,
3F.
Yeah, I understand. For some reason, I thought the picking up of cards was at the end.
No. Okay, so where does that go? City Hall. That's down here. That's far. 3 timer tokens. That can go on the outside. Discard.
Oh, you got the timer tokens already.
Yeah.
How many structures? Any? Oh, we don't put them on until it gets hurt.
Exactly.
We're good.
That's only that's only a track to keep track of wounds
Yeah.
to buildings.
Yeah. Just trying to find some little bits to pull out.
Sorry.
Is this where the villain and minion?
Yes, it is. So here I was thinking, oh, we're doing pretty well despite the timer tokens going by quickly. But this is gonna kick us in the teeth.
On that note, what are the current victory conditions now that there's no solution track?
Beating the level 3 villain.
That's it?
That's it for now. Yes. So, which implies surviving until the level 3 villain comes out.
That's hard enough, I think.
Yeah.
Let alone the beating the level 3 hero.
Yes. And also you need to beat him before midnight.
I like how you're starting to call on him the hero. You're ready to change sides. You stupid villains, keep pointing.
My hero.
It's just labels, guys.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Who can really tell whether All right.
Maybe he's right. We do need to adjust
kill some
the
of these
time.
lazy
Okay,
bystanders.
so now is when we draw cards.
Can't even stand their feet.
Okay. I draw my cards.
So at the end of this round, we're only going to get to draw up to 3. What if I draw? What if I don't use any?
Oh, if you don't use any, then you're
I'll beat
fine.
the system.
Well,
While you guys do all
only
the
draw
heavy
up to
lifting.
3. So yes, if you have more than 3, you're fine.
Very
Okay.
heroic of you.
This is going to be like a pile of hurt if we don't go take care
I
of
say we
that.
ignore it.
In that
If
case,
you
I
guys
would
can
push.
make it there, my leadership can allow you to draw a card. So you'll have
So you're going
an
there?
extra card. Well, I'm not going there alone, but we need
No,
to go
I'm,
there.
I'm willing
Like,
to go
Let's
there.
all go.
Yeah, I can
What if
go
we just
there by...
ignore this?
I
mean,
can go there by picking up injury as well, and I think I will push.
Yeah.
I think I'll push as well.
I can
This
move
this
on.
is gonna bring the master plot up too.
But no terror?
Well, yes, because it also destroys the location, which makes the terror go up too.
Oh, so terror and master plot too?
Yeah.
It is possible that if I can get my... Now that the Chronobot's been gone,
Mm-hmm.
all I need is a fist.
But
and
you're gonna
double-
have to fight any henchmen that come
No.
up to you.
No, I don't have the structure in my hand
You
either.
don't have structure.
Which means I would have
But you've
to...
got like power augmentation.
I'd have to draw
You'd have
well.
to draw more. Okay.
I'd have to push and draw successfully. Although there's only that many cards left. I haven't used that many of my structure, so I should be able to draw one.
Yeah,
In
I
two
don't
cards.
have
Good
I
odds.
don't have enough mental right now to cover this.
Well, first of all, what's gonna happen if we don't go here?
Okay, so if we don't go here, the
That's the
minimum
damage.
that's going to happen, the minimum, is... So the immediate effects is we draw an additional card from the threat. So 3 cards in addition to these will come out if we don't go. Then
One structure.
X effects, just 1 more structural card. That's fine. 1 success token to location. Then that really means that 1 more timer token is removed. That needs to be rephrased on the Chronobot cards. Note to self. Add 1 damage token to location. Add 1 success token to master plot. So that goes to 4. Add 1 success token to master plot. So that goes to 5. All heroes present. So that wouldn't affect us. So at minimum, master plot goes up 2. Which isn't the worst, but 3 more cards go up, and out of 9 cards, 2 of them are bystanders, 2 of them are structural damage.
And this one here, at a minimum,
At a
you
minimum,
get
2
more,
terror, 2 master plot.
and
And
There's
there's
At a minimum?
At a minimum. If we're not, yeah, so that's at a minimum. So,
But there's at most 3 bystanders here, probably less if Al has taken care of someone.
I would, if you guys can team up and handle that, I can try to keep a lid on this as much as possible. I don't have the 4 mental right now, but I can, take care of bystanders and, try to minimize the damage done here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna push no matter what we're doing here.
I think what my plan is going to be is
Push
to
it down.
upgrade my telekinesis into telekinesis 2. And then, if I keep this card in my hand, I can at some point zap both of us to some other location.
Okay, I can also get myself somewhere, so don't feel.
Well, I can always just get myself there, but it would cost me 1 card to take you with me.
It would help me avoid an injury. So.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be
So I can play
a little
this.
weakened in this.
Yeah,
turn.
because going to this place here, you discard at a minimum 1, 2.
just
two
to
card.
get there.
No, but just once
When
you're
you're
there,
You're gonna have to discard.
you discard 2 cards.
Wow,
That's
would
brutal.
be so screwed. And I'm tempted to push. Okay.
And I'm guessing I can use astral projection even if there's no hero somewhere. Or does more
Yes, you can.
I
So,
can potentially.
I'll push.
do you have any mental? in
I
hand?
do have both your.
Do you have two? Do you have a card with
I
two
tried.
mental?
No, it didn't come.
Ah.
It would have been nice. But you don't have. Three.
Okay. Well, I can draw one. I'm gonna push for two. Give me 2 injuries, please. Because if you can send a mental my way, we might be able to resolve both
I
these
need an injury,
plots.
too.
And if we can do that, we're considerably less.
Not really.
Shitty shit.
So like, yes, exactly.
All my sitting around last turn has now been lost by picking out 2 injuries. I'm still one
Well,
injury.
actually,
guys.
I will push one at a time, so perhaps I don't need both injuries. Hopefully, I don't.
Oh, actually, maybe I didn't need both
Yeah.
of them either. Actually.
I can delay the plot again.
Do you have a lot of injury?
No, I don't. Well, I don't have as much as I. Oh, good. I've got the mental. Okay.
Well, this one takes 4 before it falls down. Screw this not falling. I didn't need to do that. I have a trick I can use.
Okay.
Where was it?
So,
Full of tricks.
you guys
Full of tricks,
resolve
full of tricks.
yours first. So you both using your free moves to move.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's. Well, okay. No. Timer tokens. Can you take the one off? that one?
Is it
Just
one?
two? No. There's an effect in there that
Oh,
will
okay.
make another one go off. But
Mm.
okay. So immediate effects. None of them. All of them affect heroes except for the draw one additional card from threat. And then two. Oh, Christ. Did you shuffle these?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just in case.
Well, just gonna make it.
Forced
You're gonna get
destruction.
another.
Okay. All right. So. All immediate effects are done. So now X token. So add 1 success to the master plot.
4.
Add 1 success to the master plot.
5.
Add 1 damage token to the location. Another damage token. Another damage token.
That's all of them.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is
It's
all.
done.
So the location is destroyed,
Well, at least I don't have to worry about it.
which is good and bad. So these
That was
guys,
quick.
these guys leave, which is
Does
good.
that count as
Yeah, we got
beating
him.
the villain?
The bad thing is the plot goes off.
Completely off.
So add 2 more to the master plot.
5,
Add
7.
1 damage token to each adjacent location. These are removed. And then add 2 to the terror level. And that's off the board.
Oh, we
And
really gotta start preventing the master plot.
yeah, the so henchmen, bystanders, henchmen, structural.
This seemed kind of a waste just to build that all up for nothing.
Well,
Well,
Put that deck together and
plenty.
Those in one go.
kaboom. Okay, so let's do yours.
This should be a little bit better.
Yes, I'm hoping.
Although I'm still not going to be able to
so
save any buildings,
1,
I
2,
reckon.
3, 4. All heroes get an injury card. So that's where your power might. You don't have any more VPs.
Oh, I can. Oh yeah, I'll use
I've
mine.
had-
I'll use mine.
So what does yours do?
Use a valor point. All heroes present avoid gaining 1 injury card.
All right.
Ah,
There
Here
you
we go.
I took one
That's
of
why I
yours, you're
saved
taking
them.
one of
That's
mine.
it.
This is teamwork, here we go.
Perfect. Okay, so now it's your turn to act. So there's 3 henchmen blocking the plot, though.
Can you get 3 henchmen?
And I can't use mental.
Do you have a fist?
I do have fists.
Okay, save a fist for this thing, and then I've got the rest of it.
And then do you have extra that you can spend on
No.
henchmen?
Henchmen, yes. No.
I have.
I can only save people.
I have these 2 for henchmen
Okay.
and this for.
You've got
the
power
plot.
augmentation. You
I
can.
plan to use it.
You can. What's your
So you can't
parakinesis
get
do?
through the henchmen?
You can discard one.
That's
Okay.
too bad.
For now.
Yeah.
So you can only get 2 henchmen or 3 henchmen and use the fist. Well, we're not going to be able to stop the master plot this time, unfortunately.
Well, you can if you use power augmentation.
But I would need it. Then I would only have 1
do you mean?
structure.
Ah.
What do you mean? We can't. Oh, because we need
We're
to beat the
a
henchmen.
henchman short.
That's
Unfortunately,
Hold on,
I
hold
can't
on.
hurt anyone with teleportation that I can see. Only we had a falling person. I mean, otherwise, you know, we could just plan for next turn. You can keep a fist. I'll use one of my fists on that, and we'll just continue to ignore that.
Well, it's there's no more timer token, so you don't.
It's going to go off regardless.
It's gonna go off.
I reckon we just failed, and that's that.
What do you mean?
I just don't think we just can't do it.
Well, I mean, you can kill these.
We can
three,
kill all of those.
but you don't see how you can.
Yeah, we can't resolve that one.
So you need to get rid of 3 henchmen. You don't have any other cards in hand that allow you to affect.
Mental. No.
But there's no text on the cards that allow you to.
Oh yeah, mental doesn't work on henchmen right now. See, if we had the level 2 cards that sort of give you that, get rid of all the henchmen, we'd be laughing.
His
but
pyrokinesis level 2
If I
does
can
that.
upgrade it, but
Ugh.
We'd be
Okay,
using
so
it.
that's another one that goes kablooey. Terror goes up 2. Master Plot goes up 2. What are we at, 9?
9.
Structural.
Well, we may be approaching the end of the game now.
Structural.
very quickly.
Bystander henchman out of the game. And you both get an injury.
That's so much for that.
Okay, so mass amnesia. 1, 2, 3 bystanders. Okay, I'm gonna use leadership and draw a card. Fuck. Okay,
So I got
so
2 injury cards for
1,
absolutely
2,
nothing.
3.
Shouldn't have pushed.
Do you have that mental for me?
I do have that mental for you.
Beautiful. So, at least that's all resolved, and we don't lose just yet. So, bystanders, 2 more, and then henchmen. That's out. These are discarded. Okay, so you guys...
Is it worth continuing, or should we just
Let's see how we actually
Okay.
lose. It shouldn't be long.
That is very true.
Be mercifully short.
Alright, that's here, that's done. Oh, and that actually neutralized, so my extra VP power kicks in. Rest. And discard. So discard these. Because, you know, like, the board at least is
Nothing.
in bad shape, but there's nothing on there yet.
That's kind of weird, actually.
Game end conditions, not quite. Milestones, though, we hit all of them. So at the end of this round, only heroes draw up to 3 cards. So heroes. So
I
you're
already have 3 cards, so I guess I'm done.
Injury card on top.
Oh no!
These 2.
2 cards. That's injured.
also all upgrades from now on cost an additional 1 VP or an additional level 1 card. And all heroes must return the top 2 power cards in their draw pile to the supply. That should say...
Power cards.
Yeah, so your draw pile, you draw the top 2.
Yeah.
And they go back to your library?
They go back to your library.
Oh, that's brutal. It's gonna be my 2 level 2s. Nope, just
Luckily,
1 level 2.
I only have the 1 level 2 total, and it's sitting in my hands.
That one is extremely brutal.
Yeah, note to self,
Yeah.
check the wording on that master plot card. Oh, this hurts. Alright, start of new round. Countdown clock. It's 11:25. Time for the news. New event card.
Villain!
Motherfucker. Alright.
2 success tokens into the master plot. Well, if we do that right now, we're done, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh, that didn't take that much longer.
Wow.
But at least
Alright.
now we know how we lost. Leading into speculation.
We got absolutely
So I thought we were holding our own for a while, and then we just got slammed.
in one turn.
Now, could part of that be, say, poor planning in terms of the choices of cards? Not to pick on Al, but you know,
Yes, I screwed up. I'll grant you that. Had I been teamed up with someone, the screw up probably wouldn't have been
no.
noticeable.
Yes.
It was only because I was off on my own.
And
that it
with
was.
3
It's physical.
players, there's definitely
Yeah.
more. Like
Yes.
we did really well in the first plot, Lucas and I together.
But it meant that Al couldn't.
But it meant that Al couldn't get a partner at
Yeah.
that point to
Right.
cover that
Yeah.
lack of symbol.
By chance, I was never able to use my extra valor point getting thing,
Yeah,
but
I
that
managed.
could have just been
I think.
chance.
Well, they're not. Some of them are. In it, you know, ideally, the ones that are easier to get, you know, would balance out, you know, weaker other powers,
Yeah.
or you know. So, I think. See, like I get it if I contribute to neutralizing a plot card, which
Yeah.
isn't that
It
easy.
doesn't happen that often. Really.
You get it when you. Is it contribute to neutralizing or
Contribute to
neutralizing a minion or villain?
They don't
That's
come
not
up that often either.
right. So it's all. Some of them are a little easier, and then you know
So I've got no comment on it.
they may need to be tweaked.
It just happens that
Yeah.
I didn't. Though there were
Um,
certain opportunities that I could have. Again, if I was teamed up, I probably. Well, maybe not. Because all my structural damage was going into fighting
Right.
minions and stuff.
Then you're the only one that had it.
The
Or plots.
timer token mechanism on the plot cards, I thought that worked well. It may
Yes.
need some of them may need a longer fuse, you know,
Right.
but just generally speaking, that seemed to make the resolution go really well. Like
Yeah, no, that seemed logical, if you
Did-
will.
We didn't lose any locations to that, did
This one.
this one,
we? Oh, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. What happened was the timer tokens were gone. I can't recall. I know we neutralized that one, neutralized the one that happened on the bottom here. The police department, I'm not sure. The city harbor, I'm not sure. I think the city harbor we didn't. You were there, weren't you? I think.
Yes, I was.
Did you neutralize
Yes,
it?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not 100% sure. I'll watch the playback later, but it seems to me that the timing wasn't so bad. Maybe if a few of them had longer, the ones that are nastier.
Right.
Would make sense, the nastier the thing is longer. Or
Yeah,
who knows,
well,
it may
yes
even
and
be
no,
like a
because
randomness.
they're nasty because the X effect is harsh sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So, but that means if it lasts longer, that means the X effect comes up
More
additional
often.
rounds,
That's a good
right? So
point.
it's
6 of one, half dozen in the other.
yeah. The powers on the character cards came in useful a few times.
But I think they weren't
I-
nearly as
and-
good as the improved or additional effects on the plots and the minions.
You
Yeah,
mean
that's-
just the only thing with the minions and the villain that changed is the die that
Maybe,
came up once.
But
Yeah,
you-
maybe I didn't read
I mean,
that
how
right,
this
but
thing-
You mean the plots,
for sure.
the plot tokens?
Yeah, they
you
seem to
think?
have a lot of effects
Yeah.
that kept coming into play every single turn.
Mhm.
Whereas ours
Yeah,
was coming
having the
into
plots
effect
active
now.
every turn, that's definitely a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
And then having them on the timer having them on the timer, that's also, that's also harder. So you don't think they compensate fully?
Definitely don't compensate fully.
Yeah.
Whether they had to or not. I
So
don't-
they could be stronger and still it would be fair,
yes,
potentially?
as the game is right now, because from what I saw, I
Mhm.
think even if we had potentially picked a better combination of heroes and worked together better, it seemed like we wouldn't have been close, because we were still very far away from winning, and we got whipped.
Now, the last little increase in the master plot, and I think one other increase in the master plot from earlier, came directly from the event cards. And I think that will be removed, so that the only thing that makes the master plot go up is things that happen here. Okay. It won't be just a turn a card and lose. I mean, it'll be a turn a card and lose here, but it won't just be on an event.
Doing it like that was a little anti-climax.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that I had not actually taken that out. Is that your character deck? Okay, thanks. So that I think should be out and will be out. So it would have bought us a little bit of time, but not, not a whole lot. But that goes a bit of a ways towards.
I think there was a bit too much resting, but at the same time, for the most part, it felt like we needed to do all the pushing that we did. Mm-hmm. Other than that last time where Al and I failed by one symbol to resolve the plot there, in which case I shouldn't have pushed at all.
It's probably 2 symbols.
Well, shouldn't have. But was it like
with the doubling?
Is it a case? Is it a case where you could have figured out that it wasn't necessary and just didn't, or is it just the luck of
it was a bit the luck of the draw.
Okay, so but that's.
Well,
yeah, we didn't have any
because they were all henchmen. We had to beat them, and we fell one.
Whereas sometimes you can let something slide.
Yeah.
This time we couldn't.
But that's about it that I see that we could have done a bit better. Other than that, I think we still would have really got it.
The intent of the powers on the actual hero cards was to add a bit more co-opiness to the game. So just make have a few extra effects that affect all the players.
Yeah. I like them. I don't necessarily think they need to be improved, but either that or something else. The game needs to get a little bit weaker against us, possibly. Mm-hmm. What was the reasoning behind having the plot come up every single time?
What do you mean having? Do you mean the event cards?
No, the plots at a location. Being face up and always being
thematically makes sense. For one. The other thing is it's simpler. There's not, put a placeholder card because the plot needs to be on top anyway, just for reference, right?
Sure.
Just people need to know what's happening, what's. So the other way to do it was to have a plot placeholder card in there, and that's an extra set of cards, an extra set of rules.
Fair enough, and right? I am all for that. So if the plot cards are going to be taking effect every single turn, how can you tone them down? Because to me that seems to have been a huge part of the problem. That there were a huge part of the
problem, a huge part of the difficulty.
Yeah. That's what I mean by the problem. That is, when I say problem, I'm referring to. It seems like the game was a lot better than us in this case. I mean, it's a small sample. It's a small sample. But.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to try it again, and just if we had say double the experience points, we would then have been able to upgrade our cards. In which case. We'd have felt like we were getting stronger, and we would have been able to fight the better threats. We'd have been able to handle the injuries a little bit better as well.
Valor?
Yeah.
So just the gaining of them doubled the rate?
Yeah, if we had twice as many, injuries wouldn't have been as bad. We wouldn't have had to take a whole turn to get rid of injuries. We could have just spent our cards.
Yeah, because a lot of the injuries were from pushing. So more Valor means slightly easier pushing and upgrading. I had a hard time upgrading. I spent a lot of my valid points either pushing or getting rid of injury cards.
Right.
I upgraded.
Now, one change that also I could have made for tonight but decided to put off slightly is the structural damage cards. Rather than be a straight
injury dealer.
It would be discard a card or gain an injury. So you've got a choice there.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of has a thematic, you know, because then you have that
I can
hero
do something
action,
about
you know,
it.
Yeah,
because
so
you're getting rid of
that's
something.
exactly. So you can actually
Yeah.
act.
So I like that. That would have helped.
And you still have that tough decision, like, oh, I'm not sure if I did. Or you sometimes like, I can't afford to get rid of one, you know. So sometimes
But-
you just
but
take the
when the
injury
card-
to save the guy. Or
When the
whatever.
card is up, you know whether you need it or not.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
also that will reduce the.
So it
This
will
is probably on
reduce
purpose,
some
but
of
it
the.
seems like the structural symbol is really hard to get for the most part.
It
It's
is I
probably a
think
little
the
bit
toughest one to access.
So
It's
that
on
at least
fewer-
reduce that a little bit.
Yeah.
But to go back to Al's idea of extra valor points, what I like about that is that the game feels like it's kicking your ass right now,
Mm-hmm.
and that solution makes us more heroic.
Yeah.
And I like both of those things. So the
Yeah.
game
So
seems
it
really
would help. It would help
badass,
with the
and we
difficulty.
seem more heroic.
It would help with the difficulty, and it would help.
I see
so-
that as good and good.
So how
As somebody
would
who can
the
compete with
increase? Would it be simply like one? The simplest thing would be if you're facing a threat, you get 2 valor points. Right now it's 1. So it wouldn't be a straight doubling of everything. It would just be, you know,
I
the
would try
base
that.
on a turn is you
I
take.
would try that,
Yeah.
and maybe letting players start with a token or 2, a valor point.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
wondering about that as
I
well.
was-
Because that way you can push
Because
right,
right
away
off the
without
bat, it's
taking
like,
injury.
oh yeah, exactly. 'Cause
So
the
right off
first
the bat,
turn-
you can do either a bit of an upgrade, or so.
Yeah.
So 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's too much, but considering how bad
considering-
we are at it,
considering-
I bet
might
you
be
a lot
okay.
of people take the upgrade right off the bat. Because when you think of it, it's like, oh, I'm going to start with, and
I
one of
think
my
it
things
depends-
is level 2. That
Maybe it
just sounds
depends
cool.
how badass the situation seems
Yeah.
on the board.
And then as you learn better, you're
How
like,
many
oh, I
players?
shouldn't have done that.
More
I should've
players.
waited.
With more players, I think there's a chance that there'll be more of them upgrading.
Well,
instead of
that's another thing.
pushing
Like
it.
a 3-player game with the rules as you know, everything as they are. I
Probably
figure
just
it's
harder.
probably just slightly harder than a 4.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
I mean, there's lots of ways to modify the difficulty, right? The number of plots on the board at the start, the proportion of event cards that bring out new plots, both those things.
You could even modify the starting characters. Like, oh, if you're playing level 3, it's harder. You guys start with 4 Valor Boards.
That's,
Or something like that. That might be an
that's
easy
where I
fix
was. That's
too.
where I was going
Yeah.
with that. Is that you know it
Flexibility.
might
And I
be
think
it
that's
might
a
be
better
a
tweak because it feels like one less plot card coming out will change the game immensely.
lot,
The
yeah.
dynamics of
Because
Whereas-
then you might beat both of them, the 2 that are out very quickly, and
Yeah.
it just keeps the number of them out
In a
small at all
manageable level.
times after
Yeah.
that.
where you can start keep
So-
chasing it
Yeah.
down.
So
Yeah.
like I like the idea of just having maybe like a 4 or 5 player game start with 1 valor token,
Yeah,
2 or 3 player game, or a 3 player game start with 2, 3 player game
that's
start
great.
with 4.
I think that's a
Yeah.
very easy way to tweak it
Yeah.
in a way that shouldn't have an immense impact like some of those other
Yeah,
changes can have.
and the additional 1 VP for facing a threat. So instead of just a basic 1, it's
Yeah.
a basic 2. That seems like a good place to start.
Yeah.
I am on board with that change.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings
Actually, yeah,
us
if we
to
started with 2 and then just got 1, I think that would have made the big difference. Because right off the bat, the first 2 just went to pushing, and then, and the 2 injuries we had, but then lost a turn. It was very cumulative. Yeah, no, I think that would make logical sense. How are we for time?
we're just under 2 hours.
Awesome.
Perfect.